2 years ago, Emily and her husband Daniel moved to a small, picturesque village, hoping to embrace a simpler, nature-filled life. Surrounded by fresh air, a flowing river, and a serene forest, it was the perfect place to start their new chapter. They dreamed of raising a family in this peaceful environment, believing it to be an idyllic setting for their future children. Soon after settling in, they met their closest neighbors, Mark and Olivia, a couple of the same age who also had no children. The two couples quickly became friends, sharing picnics, nature walks, and foraging trips into the forest. Life was uncomplicated and harmonious, at least for a time. Mark worked a demanding job that required frequent travel, often leaving Olivia alone for weeks. She occasionally asked Daniel for help with household tasks, and Emily and Daniel were happy to assist. However, over time, Emily noticed something unsettling. Olivia's requests for Daniel's help became more frequent and specific. At first, Emily dismissed her concerns, trusting her husband completely. But then, Olivia's behavior shifted. She began dressing differently when Daniel was around, wearing elegant dresses instead of casual home attire. She smiled at him in a way that made Emily uneasy. Though Daniel seemed unaware of any inappropriate behavior, Emily couldn't shake her growing discomfort. One evening, after Daniel returned home later than expected, Emily finally confronted him. "Why are you spending so much time at Olivia's house?" she asked. Daniel looked genuinely surprised. "I was just helping her with a few things while Mark is away. That's all." Emily nodded but couldn't suppress her unease. From that day on, she paid closer attention. Whenever Daniel was at Olivia's house, she found excuses to stop by, observing every interaction. Olivia always acted polite, but Emily noticed something in her eyes, something more than just friendship. One afternoon, Emily spotted Olivia and Daniel talking outside, standing too close, laughing together. Her heart pounded. Unable to stay silent any longer, she walked over. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice calm but firm. Olivia smiled, but it wasn't the friendly expression Emily was used to. "Oh, Emily, we were just talking about the garden," she replied smoothly. Emily turned to Daniel, who remained silent, looking slightly guilty. That night, Emily voiced her concerns more directly. "I don't like the way Olivia acts around you," she admitted. "I don't trust her." Daniel was quiet for a moment before sighing. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was bothering you this much." After that conversation, Daniel started avoiding Olivia's house, making an effort to focus on his home and marriage. Olivia, in turn, seemed to distance herself. Weeks passed, and Emily began to relax, believing the tension had faded. But an uneasy feeling still lingered whenever Olivia was near. One day, while shopping, Emily ran into Olivia, who approached her with a knowing smile. "You know, Emily, Daniel is such a helpful man. I don't know what I'd do without him," she said casually. Emily forced a polite smile. "Yes, he's a good man." Olivia chuckled softly. "He's more than just good, isn't he? You're lucky to have him." Something about her tone sent a chill down Emily's spine. That evening, she told Daniel about the encounter. He laughed, shaking his head. "She's just being friendly, Emily. You don't need to worry." But Emily wasn't so sure. She decided the best course was to maintain a distance from Olivia. A few days later, Daniel came home with unexpected news. Mark was returning soon. Emily felt relieved. Perhaps Olivia would stop seeking Daniel's attention once her husband was back. And she was right. Olivia withdrew, no longer appearing at their door with odd requests. The tension that had hovered over Emily's marriage slowly dissipated. She and Daniel resumed their peaceful life, working in the garden, taking long walks, and dreaming about their future children. One evening, as they sat together watching the sunset, Emily realized she needed to trust Daniel more. He had never given her a real reason to doubt him, and she didn't want fear to overshadow their happiness. "I'm sorry if I ever doubted you," she said softly. Daniel turned to her, confused. "Doubted me? Why?" She smiled, squeezing his hand. "Because I love you, and I know you'd never hurt me." Daniel leaned in, pressing a gentle kiss to her forehead. "I love you too, Emily. You never have to worry about that." A few months later, Mark and Olivia moved away after Mark received a new job in the city. After their departure, the village returned to its peaceful rhythm. As time passed, Emily and Daniel focused on their future, talking more seriously about starting a family. The shadows of doubt that once lingered had faded, replaced by trust and love. Emily learned that in any relationship, trust and communication were the most important pillars. No matter what challenges came their way, she knew that together, she and Daniel could overcome anything. The end.